to our next Ascension Teachings Q&A. So this month we have a very special event where I will be dual channeling Goddess Persephone and Gaia, which will be the first time publicly that I'll be channeling more than one being. And today we have Isabel joining us. Hi, Isabel.
Hello.
All right, so before this session, Goddess Persephone brought forth a message about what they both want to discuss during the session. So I will read that message out. Dear ones, you are on a journey moving from fear to the remembrance of love. You are experiencing this on many levels of your existence as a human, being a part of the collective race. You feel this on an individual level, and you see this on a collective scale as expressed through your perceptions of Gaia. You are, as a collective, experiencing a shift in your consciousness, which manifests in your world. Both I and Gaia wish to come through to assist in working through your fears by highlighting what human fear is and how it's only your perception to it that causes suffering. You wanted this experiencing of duality, but you did not want to suffer through it. Know that your journey inward, in embracing fear to see the gifts within, will light your path home to the remembrance of infinite love, for you are that. You are the expression of the consciousness shift, and you are an expression of Gaia. You are perfect in every way, and all fear that you experience is a catalyst to remember your greatness, to remember your power, and to remember that you are one. It is a journey of shining light within the darkness, where you remember there was never any darkness, only a yearning to remember that you are the eternal love that you seek. All right, so there's the message. All right, so how this will work is that I'll just allow whoever wants to come through first. I'm not sure if it'll be more with one person, one being or the other being. I'm just going to let it flow. So I'll just ask whoever out of Goddess Persephone and Gaia wants to come forth first, they'll come through. Okay, so we'll see you on the other side. My dear ones, it is Gaia coming through. It is I wanted to come through in this direct way, for we are you. We are one. Mighty ones, there are many changes occurring on the planes of what you call as Earth. In your society, in your experiencing, there are many shifts occurring. And because of this, you are feeling the effects within you. For all expands, mighty one, whom you call as myself, as Gaia. I also expand just like you. We are all expanding because we are all source manifested. We are all here playing this game together to expand together, to expand source together, to expand all that is together. We are one and we are all mighty ones. You are source manifested and you are Gaia manifested. You are all that is manifested. You live and you breathe on the planes of Gaia. You connect to the energy source that is always internally flowing throughout you, throughout all of your existences. Mighty One, you came here to express life as a human being, and because of this, you are a living, breathing version of Gaia manifested, which is also innately source manifested. You came here to explore certain missions. You came here with certain intentions, both on an individual level and on a collective level, mighty ones. And you are seeing the result of these collective intentions now. Mighty ones, many of you see what is happening to my brothers and sisters, to your brothers and sisters, for we are one. And you see sorrow, you see devastation. Mighty One, please know that we are not hurting. You are not hurting. This is part of the illusion of physical reality. We are perfect, just like you. Mighty One, we also go through changes, just like you. Mighty One, we are all multidimensional in nature. We are providing an energy source for you as you existing as a human being. And because of the changes that you wanted, because you wanted to remember more of who you are as one, we are honoring that collective contract. And we are assisting you together as one in bringing forth this consciousness into your remembering. You've always been oneness consciousness, but you have forgotten it. And we play along with your creation of duality consciousness, of these collective contracts. My dear one, we are here assisting you. Remember that what you see on the planes, in the earth, manifested in your physical reality is a reflection of the consciousness shift. My dear ones, you are seeing fires, you see floods, you're seeing many earth situations, earthquakes, volcanoes, you see many natural disasters in your perception, but these are shifts necessary. They are honoring your collective dream and they are honoring the purge of what is no longer needed in your belief systems in duality consciousness. It is a releasement of this dream, mighty one. So embrace who you are as the oneness connection that you are, as the oneness that you are as source manifested. We are not suffering. There is no suffering occurring here. It is only in your perceptions that you see suffering. You feel suffering because you see duality. You experience duality consciousness. Because you are still in this transition. Mighty ones, you are perfect. We are perfect. We are not hurting. Yet you feel pain. Yet you feel devastation. Trust that everything is occurring for you. You are releasing programming that is no longer needed. And we would say, reflecting back to you. This is why you see such devastation on the earth plane. Is a releasement of your programming. We are here filtering unwanted as well as you filter the wanted programming that is no longer needed. We are here to mighty one. We are here releasing just like you, playing this game together. So remember who you are as one. It is our honor to come through, and we can understand that our energies coming through Kimberley have been quite strong. So we ask you if you are able to hear this message.
I can now hear. Yes. It was a lot of energy.
My dear one, it will ground through Kimberley and the sound quality will improve, but all is perfect.
Oh, good.
It's like the fairy friend here.
Yes. All right.
What would you like to discuss today, my dear one?
I think you addressed the concerns that a lot of people are having with the fires and the natural disasters going around the world, and that it is all perfect and that there is many reasons for it and it's not random. And I think earlier we had said that it was like a clearing, a moving of energy, that you move energy. Sometimes we burn off stagnant energy or fear-based energy, and it's just a process in the system. And that we don't need to fear it.
And we know this can be very intense, especially those of you who are directly affected by this. Because you are attached to duality consciousness, you see the suffering in it. Even if you are personally affected by it, it is for you, even though you cannot see it from the perspective of the human comprehension. It is a releasement of what is no longer needed. And if you are directly affected by such events, then you also ask to be involved with it directly because you are highly advanced. There are no victims here. All victims in your perception are victims aligned in accordance to their collective contracts, to their perceived individual contracts. My dear one, if you want to assist others, if you want to assist myself, which I don't need assisting, you might practice sending love to yourself, because that is what you are doing, because you are love. We are one. Sending love to the earth is sending love to yourself. Practice using the energies of the heart center with love. As you focus on love, you focus on expanding all that is. You assist in this purging in your terminology. You assist in the transition from the releasement of fear in the remembrance of love, in the remembrance of oneness consciousness.
Gaia, I am seeing a lot of rainbows and the sunset and the sunrise. I notice that Earth looks different. Now, I know it's my perception and it's my vibration, but I really feel that it is different. Am I sensing that it is? I mean, I know everything changes in any given moment, but I'm telling you, I really think it's different.
Every second in your perception of time is a different version because it is aligning to your frequency. It is aligning to the frequency of all that is. You are going through the great awakening. The earth is changing, in your terminology, transforming to the new earth. It is a shift in consciousness. And because of this, you are seeing Gaia in a new way. You are seeing the reflection more of who you are, of the oneness consciousness. You are starting to see more of the beauty that is always been there, but you have not always seen it. My dear one, I'm also playing the game with you in assisting you in this dream of duality consciousness. So as you choose to let go of the dream of duality consciousness, then I also honor that and move with you. So we get to share in this together. We tap into different versions of ourselves to allow you to see more of who you are being reflected back to you. There are many components in play here that relates to the collective consciousness contracts here. So we are all here assisting you to remember who you are as one, to remember the beauty that you are, to allow you to remember that you are the earth, you are the skies, you are the oceans, you are the trees, you are all that is. You are living, breathing manifestation of this, but you see yourself as separate, mighty one. As you expand and as you embrace more love consciousness of that of who you truly are, you then exist in another dimensional existence, and then you get to experience Gaia in another dimensional existence. We would say there are multi-dimensional existences out there of Gaia, of you, of all that is, you see. So as you raise your frequency, you jump into a different dimension, and all your surroundings aligns to that higher frequency, aligns to that frequency code that allows you to see the world and yourself differently. This is a multi-dimensional universe. There is not just one of me. There is not just one of you. We exist multi-dimensionally, and we know that this can be quite challenging to comprehend from a human comprehension. Just know that you're always expanding. And as you expand, you help to assist expand all that is, because you are connected, you are energy. There is no separate energy here, even though you see separateness. Mighty one, you see yourself as different to another being, but all is energy, and no energy is stagnant, and all energy is flowing. Mighty ones. So if you are seeing different reality, it's because you're in a different dimensional existence. And this is why you may see beauty all around you. And none of your brothers and sisters may see a devastation. It's still part of the human experiencing, creating together, experiencing together, but it is all being witnessed and experienced in accordance to your frequency. So just know, as you expand and while you jump into different dimensions, which are dimensions within yourself, the multiverse is within you, for you are source manifested, you will allow more of the unlocking of the remembrance of oneness throughout all of your brothers and sisters and all that is, because all the dimensions are connected. You are connected to all that is, to all your brothers and sisters. There is no separation.
So how would that look, Gaia? So as I ascend, the people around me, will they ascend with me?
Mighty one, there are perceived individual contracts in the game of duality, and there are collective contracts from a oneness standpoint. You, as a collective human race, chose collectively together to go through certain events to allow you to remember who you are. And you are going through this right now. This is why you are witnessing the changes. You're witnessing the changes because you as a collective wanted to experience duality and separateness to allow you to remember that you are one. So my dear one, as you expand, those in your vibrational vicinity will, we would say, align more towards your frequency. However, if it's in their soul contracts not to align to that higher frequency of the remembering of who they are, then they will still be expanding, but on a different path. You see, it is truly multidimensional, and you do not have to worry about others ascending with you. Everyone is expanding. Everyone is increasing their frequency, whether they choose to remember consciously who they are, whether they choose to remember that they are source or that they are Gaia manifested. Everyone is expanding. Everyone is playing the game on master level here. It is just not all chose to remember who they are. They are playing catalysts or activationists. Mighty ones, know that everyone in your existence is expanding all that is. Every time you go up against a bump in your belief systems, every time you are triggered, every time you judge and you overcome that belief system and you draw on your energies of the heart center in connection, in oneness, in compassion, you expand all that is. As you increase your light, you increase the light of all that is. You become an activator, and this activates further the light within all that is. This is your role. This is the light worker role. This is what you do amongst many other things aligned to your collective contracts and your perceived individual contracts. So my dear one, every time you breathe, you are expanding, because you are moving through the energies. Just with your breath, you are moving energy. With every intention, with every word that you speak, you are moving energy. You're being the beacon of light, mighty ones.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, that vibrationally, they have to be a match to me. And as I think it's because I think linear instead of multidimensionally, because it's just moving through dimensions all the time. I think that's what it is. It's a complex idea moving through dimensions, because we're so trained in linear thinking, but it is waves and vibrations. So the people in my life, they have to be a match to me as I'm a match to them. And then I think what is hard to understand is the individual soul contracts are part of the collective contracts. There's oneness. It's just really collaborative. That's probably why there's so many paths. There's so many paths. There's so many different ways and possibilities.
You have the underlining theme, this underlining events that you see collectively, and that can show you evidence of the collective contracts at work. You see much devastation, you see events around the world, you see how it is affecting the collective. This, you will know, is part of the collective contracts. You have seen in your perceived past how it changes consciousness, how it changes belief systems, how it changes and allows people to come together in times of need, to draw on their heart center, to activate more of the oneness within them. You have seen this, and you've seen this, what is occurring right now. But my dear one, know that there'll be a time in the collective where you'll all see beauty, where you'll all see oneness. Of course, that is the projection, and of course that existence is still existing, as all possibilities already exist. It is about attracting that dimension into your conscious awareness as a collective, and you have chosen this. Until you choose otherwise, as a collective, this is your path. But you've chosen to go through duality consciousness, and because you've chosen to take the path as a collective through duality consciousness to remember oneness, you have then used individual contracts along the way to allow you to then further remember oneness. But these individual contracts in your perception are still collaborative, as there are still many players involved with these individual contracts. But my dear one, that's why you trust and know that your path is perfect. Many of you, though, have trouble facing the fears, my dear ones, especially during this time. What you are seeing that is occurring, there is much fear, and many of you that are sensitive are picking up and feeling this purge from the collective, this collective fear that is arising. But this is necessary. Many of you have felt it. It is a letting go. Just hold it, accept it, and allow it to filter it through. You are playing that part in assisting the collective in purging this fear, in purging this limited programming in duality consciousness. So breathe through it. Know that it is part of the letting go of the unwanted to remember who you truly are. Most of you have let go much of the density of these fears in relation to these events that are occurring. yet some of you still linger in it because you may be directly affected by it, or you may be overly, we would say, sensitive to the feelings of those still in fear. But this is still your power. This is still a strength for you. Just know you are sensitive enough to feel it because you are powerful. Breathe through it. Show compassion. If you want to help those in need, do it from a heart center, not because they need help, but help from the perspective of that they are versions of you, so send yourself love. If you are feeling fear, then what are you not addressing within yourself that you are not loving completely, my dear ones? There are many changes occurring because it is the time of the golden age. It's the transition into this time period of what you call the golden age. It is the great remembering. There are many changes, not just on my planes, but on your physical reality, in your perception, and in your physical experience of a human being. There are many shifts, my dear one. And because of this, we would now like to talk to you about dealing and managing the fears when they come up. So for this, we will call on Persephone to come through. Hello, my dear ones. It is Persephone. My dear ones, you have chosen this game of illusion. You have chosen to experience fear and duality, but you fear the very emotion of fear. You fear the changes that are occurring. But my dear one, it is your perception to it. My dear one, you do not have to suffer through this. Because of your conditioning, you attribute fear to suffering. This is part of the illusion. My dear one, you do not understand just how powerful you are. You are source manifested. You dwell in the suffering. Part of you feel this is the only way to be as a human being. And some of you are even addicted to this fear. But my dear one, know that you are powerful. Many of you do not see how worthy you are. And because of this, you find comfort in fear, but you still see fear as wrong. And because of this, you judge yourself, and you judge others, and you judge society, because you then see yourself as a victim of it all. My dear one, there are no victims here, only God creators. My dear one, we do know because of this great collective purge that is occurring now on Gaia's planes, those of you who are sensitive are feeling the effects of this in many different ways. You have asked for this. You have asked for this as part of the collective contracts, and because you are so powerful, you have the power to withstand this purge and to be a filter, to be one of the many filters to purge the collective fears, to bring forth and transmute it into the remembrance of oneness. As you remember more of oneness, you will start to tap more into the connection of your brothers and sisters. Some of you already feel this strong connection with others. You see another, you experience another as your own. You feel another's pain, another's emotions as your own. This is part of oneness consciousness, my dear one. But just know you do not have to suffer through it. It is changing your belief systems to it. And if you change your belief systems to it, your body reactions, your physiological reactions will shift according to these belief systems. Are you seeing this as something to be grateful? Are you seeing this as something that can assist you to be more connected to the source manifested being that you are, to your brothers and sisters? Or are you seeing this as something as unwanted? Fear is a catalyst to remember your power. Fear is a catalyst to remind you to go inwards, to allow you to embrace all aspects of your reality and all aspects of you. Many of you like to resist these emotions and you push them down within you. You forget about them. You do not address them. You like to then focus on the positive. And yes, this is helpful in raising your frequency, but do know if you do not resolve the fears within you, they will manifest throughout your life in many different ways, and they still affect your overall vibration. And you may not be aware of it or not. But if you do not address your fears, you still align to the mentality and consciousness of a victim. This is still perfect because this is still part of the game, the dream that you have collectively chosen to move through from duality consciousness to oneness consciousness. So know if this is you, then this is still perfect. This is part of your journey. But no, it is not necessary to hold on to fear and suffer. It is all for you. It is all part of a game. If you experience fear, if you can recognize that if you experience fear, it is part of the game. It is a tool for you. It is not the truth of who you are. For the truth of who you are does not involve fear. Can't you see? If you can recognize that all fear is part of the game, you can more easily dissociate from it. You can more easily separate yourself from it and see the gifts within. But because you're tied so much to your belief systems around suffering and fear, you have a physiological reaction to fear, and then your body reacts to fear. And because of this, it is, we would say, even more challenging for you then to bring forth in a perspective of love. If you want to change this, if you want to align both your belief systems and your body to the oneness consciousness of love, then you must address your belief systems around fear. Are you fearing fear? Are you avoiding certain situations because you're afraid of that negative emotion? Now, we know this is part of your collective dream and part of your conditioning. You have been afraid of fear for many different reasons. You were afraid of being outcast. And for many of you in the different timelines, it meant death. So we understand this is programming still that is being tapped into, but it's no longer needed. This is part of duality consciousness that is now being transcended into oneness consciousness. So my dear ones, what are you judging? What are you fearing? If you have this reaction and this emotion, there is some part of you that you are not loving. There is a belief system that you are not addressing, a belief system that is still aligning to old programming. See it as a gift for what it is. Feel it from the heart center. Managing the fears from here in the ego mind will allow you to stay in the victim mentality. Bring the fears into the heart center and feel them. Be vulnerable to go further inward. You are safe and you are protected. It may not feel like that, but that is an illusion. Bring it into the heart center and then you will feel safe, because that is where you align to more of who you are. My dear one.
I think so. I process. I have a lot of physical pain. My inner being, my fears manifest physically because I'm very good at taking a negative thought, making it positive. And so for me to do my soul work, I get physical pain, which makes perfect sense for me. And while I'm in the physical pain, I know it's for me, but it is hard. I think it's hard for us because when you are in fear, whether it's emotionally fear or physical pain, and even though you know it's for you and it's for you to do your soul work and find the limiting belief and going within, a lot of the fear base is the programming, and it really does stem from when you're small. I've noticed a lot of my personal fears stemmed from that, I would say, that small Isabel. And so when I do my soul work, for me, I go in long walks outside so I can have the support of Gaia as I do my soul work. And all my non-physical friends are very quiet while I do my soul work because I have to do it myself. But I think to share with other friends listening to this, finding your limiting belief, sometimes you don't know. You don't know what it is. You know, you feel fear, and you may not know why. Sometimes the fears are small and you can let go, but you're right on manifesting. You have to address it. Is there any advice on this?
There are many ways you can address your fears, my dear one. But many fears are not conscious to you, but you get triggered. And this is your indicator of a fear, of a belief system that has not been transmuted into love. There are many different ways. Connecting to Gaia is a very powerful way to do so. Connecting to your heart is the most powerful way you transcend duality consciousness into the remembrance of oneness consciousness. Love yourself in this process. Many of you judge yourself when you have fear. Many of you judge your journey because of this. If you experience fear, change your perspective on it. Embrace that it is for you. Embrace that it is there to assist you to uncover the beautiful rainbows within you. That it is there to reveal to you what needs to be released. If you can have this perception, then dealing with it becomes more manageable. If it's with physical pains, as you are a living, breathing version of Gaia, then connect to Gaia. For you are her. You are one. We are all one. My dear one, your belief systems are connected to your body. There is a connection there. And if there's much long conditioning there, then the effects will be shown throughout your physical body. Listen to your body. Your body is divine. It is telling you everything that you need to know if you can listen to it. Are you resting when you need to rest? Or are you persevering because in your society you see that resting is laziness? Or you see resting is unwanted because you'll fall behind on your tasks? Listen to the body. Your body is there, is telling you what it needs to align to the oneness state. Breathe. Breathe in through into your heart center. Connect to your heart center. Remind yourself that you are source. Remind yourself that this will pass. Remind yourself that you are so highly advanced. That's why you are feeling these effects. If you were not highly advanced, you would not feel these effects. but you are sensitive for a reason. It is your power, not a hindrance. Embrace it. Listen to the body and connect to Gaia with this. I will bring forth Gaia for you. They will talk more on this. Friends, know that I am you. To relieve physical pain is to connect more to my elements. It is connection to more of who you are. You all have access to nature around you. Even those of you that live in concrete jungles, there is still wind against your face. Gaia is everywhere. Elements are everywhere, so connect. Make your intentions imprint energy. All that exists in your reality is energy. You can use the energy of all my elements to assist in this with your imprinting of the energies. Go into the waters. Imprint the waters with your intentions. Ask the waters to assist in the releasement of the fear in the physical body, to allow it to remember what it is in alignment of that in the state of comfort and ease. You are a God creator, so be guided on these imprinting of the energy codes that exist throughout all of your existence. Many of your ancient cultures have used this. It is still occurring to this day within many of your indigenous communities. The wisdom is there. It is there for you to discover for yourself. You have all the tools to discover wellness as you transcend, as you ascend to the remembrance of your enlightened state. Use nature, use whatever is around you. If you only have the wind, there's access to you, then embrace the wind. Feel the sensations of the air on your skin and imprint this air around you. Breathe it in with these intentions. By your intentions, you are imprinting energy. Allow this be your energy medicine and breathe it in. Breathe it into your body and allow it to filter through your physical being. This is all part of the creative game as a human being. For you are perfect and whole and complete as you have always been. But you have chosen to be here manifested on Gaia as an aspect of my elements, as an aspect of source. So use the energy sources available to you. Connect to the trees, to the plants. Feel it with the physical touch. Feel the sensations. Imprint the energy. Ask it to assist in your healing. Ask it to assist you in the letting go of the programming that is affecting your physical wellness. But you must address your fears on a belief level first. It is, we would say, effective to do this in unison. One cannot heal the body unless you can first address your belief systems. It will only be temporary unless you can address your belief systems. But we are here to assist you on this journey For we are you. You were born through us. You are eternally connected to us as a human being. So breathe and connect to the love that is manifested all around you. You are there. We are all there assisting you. On the very land that you stand, the very waters that you swim in, the very air that you breathe, it is you manifested. Once you can recognize this is you and that you have the tools to imprint this as the God creator that you are, then you'll be able to feel more relief in your physical body and your wellness state. There are many different ways that we work with you to assist in this energy medicine. But use this as a first step. Use the connection that you are one with all of us. The waters on my lands are the very same waters that are in your being. Can't you see how connected you are? You are the microcosm of my existence. That's how powerful you are. You are the microcosm of Source manifested. That is how powerful you are, but you do not believe it. You are love. And if you are having trouble to feel the love that you are, then connect to us. Connect to the energy that runs through you as part of you. For that this will assist you to ground in the energies. This will assist you to align into the powerful state of who you are as a human being, mighty one.
Thank you.
Mighty one, know that you are perfect. Know that you are complete. All fear is here assisting you. It is all assisting you to go further inward and connect. You do not have to reach that point of desperation before you connect. You can do it right now. Connect in any way that you can to the elements, for the elements are you. By practicing this, you'll also be able to activate more of the remembrance state within you. You'll be able to become more aware of your belief systems that are not aligned to oneness consciousness. But my dear ones, be gentle on yourself and love yourself every part of your journey, because your journey is perfect. You are magnificent creatures, but you judge your brothers and sisters that they are not magnificent. You all are. Playing the role according to all the contracts here to allow you to remember who you are. How fun is that? But you do not see it as the fun game that it is. You have all of us here assisting you. All you need to do is ask. All you need to do is go within. All you need to do is connect. You are a God creator. You have the power to change energy with your intentions. You imprint source codes. You can imprint it all with your intentions. All is energy, and all energy can be imprinted. So go play. Go connect. Mighty ones. Is there anything you would like to discuss further from myself or Persephone?
No, thank you.
Know that we eternally love you, for we are you. Feel the embrace of who you are. Feel the magic of your being. You have the power. You have always had the power. By loving yourself, you are projecting more love and light to assist with all that is, expand. If you experience fear, embrace it. Do not push it away. It is for you. Use it to assist you to connect, to transcend, to purge what is no longer needed in your stage of your journey and the collective journey. This is what is occurring within the collective. It is the great purge that is occurring. And you are feeling it on many different levels, but you wanted it on many different levels. Because you are so powerful, you were able to withstand this transition. You would not be here otherwise. You volunteered for it. You are that powerful because you knew by coming here, by being the light, by embracing the light, you are expanding all that is in your brothers and sisters. Mighty One. It is the most powerful time in your timelines to be alive right now. Never a time has existed where there's been so much expansion of what is occurring now on a collective level. Because you are ready. You are ready to embrace all aspects of you. That includes fear and love in the illusion of physical reality until you can remember that fear never existed in the first place. But it is a catalyst tool for you. So go play with it. Go play with the elements and embrace the powerful being that you are. By embracing fear, by seeing the gifts within, it will shine the light home to remembrance of who you are as Source and Gaia manifested, as the living, breathing, magnificent being that you are. It is with our love that we come through because we are you and we are one. Farewell.